Good morning, Year 8. Okay, so last lesson we looked at brown eyes, blue eyes and explored the idea of people being treated differently for a weird reason that there's no issue with. Okay, so it doesn't matter what colour your eyes are, does it? So today we're going to start looking at a poem that deals with similar issues. Okay, so on the board you've got today's do now task. So the red writing is a definition of a key word, apartheid. Now it's got a silent H in it, so it's apartheid. Okay, and it's a system of government that they had for a long time in South Africa, where black people are made to live separately in terrible conditions from white people who live really well. Okay, so for a do now task, how do you think that would feel like? What would it be like if you lived like that? Okay, so pause the video and write me a few sentences about that now. Okay, welcome back. So, District 6 then, so I want you to copy this into your notes. District 6 was an area of Cape Town in South Africa, so Cape Town's a town, clues in the name I suppose, in South Africa that was well known for having a mixed race population. It was a really, really poor district, but it was full of character and was home to Muslims, Jews, black people and white people, but people that weren't of the same race as the main people in South Africa, in Cape Town. So it was full of different ethnic groups. You can see there in that picture, you've got people walking barefoot, it looks a bit scruffy, those kinds of things. So, we're going to watch some videos now, and while we watch those, I want you to think, how does that link to the brown eyes, blue eyes activity, and how would you feel if you lived in District 6? So, the two links you can see on the board, I'm going to put those links separately into the show my homework description for this lesson. So when you get to this point, you can pause this video, go and find those links and watch those, and then come back to my video here. So please pause and do that now. Okay, so eventually District 6 was bulldozed, and this was largely part to different countries in the world saying that they would no longer trade anything with South Africa. So we're not going to buy things off you, we're not going to sell things to you unless you change this because it's not okay. And eventually that did happen. Okay, so this is an example of the sort of sign that would have been all over all over District 6 in South Africa, and so you've got it in English at the top, but in the bottom that's in a language, it's what they speak in the Netherlands, which is Dutch, I think, isn't it? And because those are the people that settled in Africa first who were white. But we can read the bit that's in English at the top. So for use by white persons, these public premises and the amenities thereof have been reserved for the exclusive use of white persons. Okay, so you couldn't use that. So it might be a water fountain, it might be a toilet, those kinds of things, but you couldn't use them unless you were white. Okay, so these things can be upsetting. It can be really sad to look at these things, and I hope that that's the reaction that you have, because we should be sad when we see somebody treated badly, shouldn't we? We should feel that it's not fair and it's not okay. Those are the attitudes that we want to have now, so that we can stand up for other groups of people. Okay, so on the board now you've got some extra pictures. So the top one on the left hand side is some posh looking meal of some kind, isn't it? Maybe some kind of curry, I'm not sure. But underneath that at the bottom you've got an example of a restaurant that existed in District 6, and it's just chips, isn't it? So it says Tuck Shop at the top, Chip Top. Does it look like somewhere that's got a 5-star hygiene rating? No. Does it look like somewhere that you'd take your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, parents or whatever out for a nice celebration meal? No. Okay, because that's the kind of resources that they had to have in District 6. In the middle at the top you've got a bench there which says Europeans only. Okay, so they don't want people from there who are traditional Africans, just people who've come from Europe. At the bottom you've got a picture of a person in front of District 6, which shows you that there was lots of space there, but they were all crammed into that one district. Okay, so what I want you to do today is, bearing in mind all the things that you have looked at, I want you to write me a diary entry from the perspective of somebody black having to live in that apartheid system in District 6. So include their feelings about how they're treated. Can you find some examples of the discrimination that they faced? So it's a fictitious person, somebody not real, that you're going to create, but you've watched some videos and looked at some pictures and listened to me today. So can you think of some examples that would be, you know, something that a person like that would have felt? So in the red then, remember to organise your ideas into sentences using capital letters and full stops, and also to include the senses. How does it feel to be where that person is? What can they see and smell and touch and hear and all those kinds of things? The challenge at the bottom is, can you include some specific sentence types, so a DD sentence and a some other sentence, and also can you use ambitious vocabulary? So if you have a go at the challenge sentence, I've just put another slide together at the back which has the examples of a DD sentence on the left and a some other sentence on the right, so that you can remind yourself how to do that. I've got more than one year 8 group. If you're in 8 QE2, I'd very much like you to have a go at this, please, and I'd like you to send it to me if you are able to do so. So again, as always, you can pause the video at different points so you can see different slides to help you. You can watch the YouTube videos more than once, but your final task is what's on the board now, writing that diary entry. Again, I would love to see these and have a better feel of how you're getting on in lockdown. We can't say you have to handwork in because some students won't have the ability to do that, but if you do, I would very much like you to send it in. Okay, not every lesson, not all tasks, but this one today I'd really like to have a look at if you can. Alright, and that's it from me for today. Quite a chunky lesson today. We will pick this up and look at the poem that's about this in our next couple of lessons. Okay, I'll see you then. Take care.